Hi, we are going to make a new epoxy resin collage that's fall themed today. We're using glass with a vinyl message added on, which you will have chosen before you received your kit. So this one says thankful and blessed. It's beautiful with a nice gold vinyl. Okay. So you're going to start your work with the nice side of the frame up. If you look underneath, you'll see that the edges have been siliconed so that you don't lose any of your resin while we're working on the project. So once you're ready, get started. Some people like to give their frame a little bit of an antique look. If you'd like to do that, there's a little piece of sandpaper in your kit and you can rough it up. When you get your kit, you will have two bottles. One will be marked resin, one will be marked hardener. You're going to pour them into the cups with the numbers. Then you pour them both into the one cup so that you'll begin stirring. Now, if you look at my resin, when you first start, it looks very cloudy. So we're going to continue to mix, and you're going to mix about 2.5 minutes, well enough. So as you're stirring, you want to kind of pull up from the bottom, make sure that you're really mixing everything. You don't want to leave a pocket of resin in the corner that's not mixed with the hardener. If you do get some bubbles, it's okay because they will dissipate. So I'm mixing. Okay, so my epoxy is all mixed. I'm going to kind of pour it all around the frame. It is self-leveling, but I'm also keeping my stir stick so that I can get all the rest out of my cup. Get it all out. Okay. I'm just getting it into the corners. Now you have about 30 minutes or so, 20 or 30 minutes to work with this while it stays completely liquid. It'll start to gel up after that. But with this project, we're really using it as like a super glue, because what makes this beautiful is that it's going to look like it's just glass. So the glass this is going to completely harden and be like a clear, beautiful, crystal clear glass. So I have a lot of little items here that I'm going to use for this. And I'm going to start off with where I want to put the flowers. Now I have leaves and flowers, so I think I am going to start with getting some of these leaves in the corners and my flower. And the epoxy is so strong when it dries that these things will stay in the epoxy. They will not come out. And with the leaves, since they're going to be flat onto the piece, let them go completely in the epoxy, because then they'll be really shiny. We're going to put these leaves a little in and a little out. I like that look. And they will be nice and bright and shiny. This flower is popping out on its own. I like the way these colors look with the glass, and you'll see that in a minute. I think you're going to like it too. Letting my epoxy get nice and saturated, letting the leaves get nice and saturated. You don't have to use all the leaves if you don't want to. Okay. And I'm going to start then with some of my gems. And I put these gems around the image where I really like them. I have a little mix here of colors, and you can use some of the larger ones maybe down here by where the actual the bottom leaves are, which will look nice. This is going to go up here, and I have another flower I'm going to place down here because I like that look. And again, you can place yours wherever you want. The nice thing is it's just all beautiful fall colors, and this piece of art just really looks beautiful in a window or propped up on an easel. These jeweled pieces just look so pretty in the corners. I make kind of like a border around everything, alternating the dark and the light objects. And I will be adding some crushed glass and some glitter in a little while. Let's see how that comes out. It's really pretty. I love how this one's coming out. If you have little trinkets at home, fall trinkets, just have fun adding them. You give it a personal touch. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put a few more gems up here, is this crushed glass that has a gold tint. Don't forget to keep your stick around if you want to move things. Okay. And then the final bit that I'm going to add is this little bit of glass glitter. You don't want these to add, you don't want them all to go in one spot, so I'm really carefully going around close to where I want them so that they don't pop into the middle. They will catch the light, and they're really pretty. You can get some of those on your leaves. They really accent the color of the leaves very nicely. I'm going around the edge. I really love that. Okay, now if there are areas that you want to push it back from, just use your stick. In case you got somewhere you don't want it or anything else, just push it away with your stick. You might have to do it a couple times because things will float in this resin. You can see that it's still very fluid, not worried about anything becoming too thick. Okay. So now that I have everything placed, and I want to make sure that I take anything off the edge of the frame. If there's anything sticky there, you can just use a wipe to get it off. Okay. And if you do have any bubbles, mine looks pretty good, but if you have any bubbles, just take a lighter or one of those long lighters you use for the grill and just lightly hold the flame above the bubbles. Don't touch the epoxy at all, but just kind of give it a little flick, and just that heat will get rid of it. So I'm going to just turn this so you can see it a little better. Now this is going to take a few days to actually become solid so that you can display it. You're going to want to take it and place it underneath a box or a Tupperware or something like that so that it doesn't get any dust on it and it stays nice and clear. You want to make sure that pets can't get at it, children, grandchildren, kitty cats. So let's put it in a safe place and cover it for 3 days, and then you can uncover it and admire your work. Okay, so that's it. Thank you for joining us for the Autumn Epoxy Resin Kit, and I hope you love yours as much as I love mine.